Hey guys, in this video we'll be looking at the position of carbon in the reactivity series of metal. We're going to find the position of carbon by looking at the reaction of carbon with metal oxides as well as metals with carbon dioxide. So stay tuned. Let's just do a quick recap on what the reactivity series of metal looks like. The reactivity series of metal is just an arrangement of metals according to their reactivity. And the metals at the top of the reactivity series of metals are the most reactive. The metals at the bottom are the least reactive. So as we go down this list of metals, the reactivity becomes less and less. If you haven't seen the video on the reactivity series of metals by reaction with oxygen, then the link is at the corner. In this video, we're going to study where carbon fits in this list. The position of carbon in the reactivity series is very important, especially when we are looking at the extraction of metals. The position of carbon determines which method is used to extract metals from metal ores. Let's look at the reaction of metal oxides with carbon. This reaction is in fact a displacement reaction. So if carbon is more reactive than the metal in the metal oxide, then carbon will be able to displace the metal from the metal oxide. If you're not sure about displacement of metals, I have a video on the displacement of metals in salt solution. In this reaction, when carbon is more reactive than this metal here in the metal oxide, carbon can displace it. Carbon can take its place, can kick it out. So the metal comes out and then we have carbon dioxide instead. So in terms of a redox reaction, carbon here has gained oxygen and become carbon dioxide, and therefore it has been oxidized. And since it itself is oxidized, it acts as a reducing agent. The metal oxide has lost oxygen and become just metal. Since it loses oxygen, it is reduced. And since it itself is reduced, it acts as the oxidizing agent. If you haven't seen oxidation and reduction, the link is at the corner. So this is in fact a redox reaction. Carbon is oxidized while the metal oxide is reduced. And this can only happen if carbon is more reactive than the metal in the metal oxide. If carbon is less reactive than the metal in the metal oxide, then it will not be able to displace out the metal from the metal oxide and no reaction will take place. Let's look at the experimental setup. So this is the setup. It's a very simple setup. We have a tripod stand with a source of heat, a Bunsen burner. Then we have the wire gauze to hold the asbestos paper that contains mixture of carbon and metal oxide. And these are powdered. The reason we powder them is so that we can increase the rate of reaction, so the reaction takes place quicker. And this is just to burn the metal oxide together with the carbon to provide the heat energy so that the reaction can take place. The appearance here, the powder will have a mixture of black powder because carbon is black. Let's take a look at what we can observe from these reactions. First, let's take a look at carbon reacting with copper 2 oxide. Look at the reactivity series of metal. The position of copper is right here at the bottom. So the chances of carbon being more reactive than copper is pretty high. But let's test it in this experiment. When we burn copper 2 oxide together with carbon powder, now the black solid here also refers to copper 2 oxide. Copper 2 oxide is black. The black solid burns with a bright flame. There is a reaction that takes place. There is a visible reaction that takes place. After it burns in a bright flame, a brown solid is formed. Remember, copper is a brown metal. So the brown solid that is formed is actually copper. Let's take a look at the chemical reaction. So we had carbon powder and copper 2 oxide powdered as well. When we burn it, this sign here represents heat. When we heat these two reactions together, carbon displaces copper. So carbon is oxidized. Carbon reduces copper 2 oxide. There are many ways of looking at it. The carbon becomes carbon dioxide, is oxidized to carbon dioxide. Copper 2 oxide is reduced to copper metal. So since carbon was able to displace copper out of copper 2 oxide, then we know that carbon is more reactive than copper. This is how we test the reactivity of copper by comparing with other metals. So we know carbon is somewhere above copper, so it has to be somewhere up here. Let's test with another metal. So this time we test with zinc. So zinc oxide. Zinc oxide is white when cool but yellow when hot. So here we start with a white solid because we start when it's cool, and then when we heat it up with carbon, similar to just now, the process is all the same. When we heat it up with carbon, there is a bright glow. So there is a reaction that takes place, and in the end we see a gray solid is formed, and this gray solid is zinc. So from a white solid, zinc oxide has become zinc. Zinc oxide has been reduced to zinc. Let's look at the chemical reaction. Zinc oxide reduced to zinc, and then carbon becomes carbon dioxide. Carbon has been oxidized to carbon dioxide. So here, since carbon is able to displace zinc out of zinc oxide, then we know that carbon is more reactive than zinc. So this is the position of zinc. So it has been able to react with copper, so it must be somewhere up here. And now we know that it can displace zinc, so it is more reactive than zinc. So it has to be somewhere up here. Let's go even higher. So when carbon is reacted with aluminium oxide, there is no reaction. This means that carbon is unable to displace aluminium out of the aluminium oxide, and that will tell us that carbon is less reactive than aluminium. So this is the position of aluminium, so it's a no-go. It cannot displace aluminium, it's less reactive than aluminium. So earlier we already know that it is more reactive than zinc because it was able to displace zinc out of the zinc oxide. But now we know it is less reactive than aluminium because it cannot displace aluminium from the aluminium oxide. And now from this we can identify the position of carbon in the reactivity series of metal. So carbon will be right in between zinc and aluminium. It is more reactive than zinc, however it is less reactive than aluminium, and this is the position of carbon in the reactivity series of metal. Now let's take a look at what happens when we react metals with carbon dioxide instead. When we have a reaction of metal with carbon dioxide, this time the metal is the one that is going to be displacing carbon. So if the metal is more reactive than carbon, metal will be able to displace carbon from carbon dioxide. Then carbon dioxide will be reduced to carbon and metal will be oxidized to the metal oxide. Again, since metal is gaining oxygen to become metal oxide, metal is going to be oxidized, and since it is oxidized, it is a reducing agent. And when carbon dioxide loses oxygen to become carbon, it is reduced, and since it itself is reduced, it acts as the oxidizing agent. So if the metal is less reactive than carbon, metal will not be able to displace carbon out of carbon dioxide, and there will be no reaction. No reaction will take place. Let's look at an example. Let's look at magnesium. So we go back to the reactivity series of metal, and magnesium is here above carbon, meaning magnesium is more reactive than carbon. If magnesium is more reactive than carbon, magnesium should be able to displace carbon out of carbon dioxide. So let's take a look at what happens. When we burn the magnesium and place it in a jar with carbon dioxide, this is very simple. We just burn the metal. Let's say we have normally it's a metal ribbon. You just burn it and place it in a jar of carbon dioxide, and then we observe the reaction. That's all. So what we observe is that a white solid is formed, and the white solid is magnesium oxide. Black spots are also formed. The black spots that are formed are carbon, because the magnesium will displace carbon from carbon dioxide. So carbon will be displaced out. We will have some solid carbon forming in the form of black spots or black specks. You will see small black dots. Let's look at the chemical reaction. Magnesium here is the metal, and then we have carbon dioxide. So magnesium displaces carbon from carbon dioxide. It becomes magnesium oxide, and in this case, of course, it is oxidized, and then carbon dioxide becomes carbon. This tells us that magnesium is more reactive than carbon. So here magnesium gains oxygen and becomes magnesium oxide, and therefore it is oxidized. Since it itself is oxidized, it acts as a reducing agent. Carbon dioxide loses oxygen to become carbon. Since carbon dioxide loses oxygen, it is reduced, and since it itself is reduced, it acts as the oxidizing agent. By performing these experiments, we can identify the position of carbon in the reactivity series of metal. And the importance of this is that it plays a part in determining the method of extraction of metals from its ore, which we will cover later. There are several different ways to extract metals from the ore, but of course we want to choose the most effective in terms of cost and practicality. That's it for this video, guys. If you've learned something, please don't forget to hit the like button. It really does help me. It helps YouTube to recognize that my videos are of good quality. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe if you enjoy learning and you just love free education. I will be posting a video at least once a week. So I'll see you in the next video.